right, children. So here we are, new podcast. This one's gonna be a little different than most ones I've been doing. Most of them have been on topics and whatnot. I decided to go a little off the path of what I've been doing and read you a short story that I wrote long time. Okay, not that long ago. It's been about 3 years or so since I wrote this. It was about a guy at the time, and I have changed some of the names to protect the guilty. Um, yeah. However, it was a fun enough story, and it was very biographical there. So instead of just leaving this story to sit, and I did make a copy for him and give it to him on his birthday. I figured I'm gonna go ahead and read it for you guys today. I will not print out a copy. And yes, I did write this, so none of this, oh, I wrote a story just like that stuff. It's mine. I wrote it. In fact, I can get a timestamp. Date created 5/13/2012. So it is 3 years, 3 months, and a week old. So yeah, it's been a while since I wrote this, but yes, I did write this. So, uh, I have titled it uh, Love and Other Fun. It's sappy, it's stupid, but I feel like reading this will be a little therapeutic. So, here we go. Once upon a time, in a small town known as Ray City, lived two young ones. The two spent many an hour in each other's company. They worked together, read together, talked together, and as much as they could, they did it together. They only saw each other as friends. They were as best of friends as a boy and girl could be. Their names were Simon and Ava. They lived and worked in the castle of the town. They helped run the market within the walls. They worked hard at their jobs, but spent time watching after each other. In a few months' time, they noticed they were more attentive to each other than they had been before. When the one was sick or tired, the other was there to help. One day Ava let slip to her sisters that she felt more for Simon than she would have ever admit to him or herself. She did not mean to, but she couldn't help it. It was as if the secret had been building up in her for months without notice, and it just flew out for all to hear. Her sisters took it well, and were very happy to hear she liked him. The twin of Ava, Kim, was so overly pleased with such news that she wanted more than anything to share it with Simon, but respecting Ava enough to hold back. A few days later, Ava granted Kim permission to speak with Simon on the matters of her affection for him. Kim took no time in doing so. She enlisted the help of the oldest sister, Rose, to get the news to Simon. Ava could not contain herself awaiting the news of Simon's reaction, though she knew she must focus on the job at hand and not risk her job for him. She was sent off to the garden to tend to the produce stand. She hated being so far from her love and family. She was most shocked when he arrived in the garden to speak to her. Ava once more could barely contain herself, seeing him out there. She had feared that he would banish her to the zone known only to those who are just friends, but Simon surprised her by confessing his own interest in her. He declared that he would like to spend even more time with her outside work, alone. She was beside herself with glee to his confession, but she was happy to know that a possibility of a great future lay before her in his loving arms. They spent the next few days talking more at every opportunity. They would just spend time together getting deeper into each other's souls. I'm going to see a play about the great heroes of old. I'd like for you to join me, if that meets with your approval, Simon said one night. Of course! Name the hour and day, and I am there, Ava replied, trying not to seem too eager. They said their goodbyes for the evening and departed on great terms. It seemed like forever until their next meeting, even though it was only a night. They enjoyed each other's company until their date to the play. Ava again was nearly shaking at work, waiting the time she and her companion would be together without the eyes of her family watching and judging. Many around them wondered if the couple were in the wrong theater and meant to be at the romance story next door. They did not care what the others around them thought. All that mattered was the one in their arms. They had enjoyed so much the touch, the breath, pulse, smell, and all around feel of each other. After the wonder of the play, the two dined and talked. From there they went to the abode of the lady, and spent much time bonding to the other soul. They could not have been so happy as they were that night, or so they thought. That night would surely be the first in a line of so many more to come. 6 months later the two were betrothed. They were ecstatic to be with one another. They knew their love had no boundaries, as it is said, though they remained pure in body and soul, saving the greatest act of love until the day of marriage. No one on the face of the planet could be happier than they, for their love for each other was beyond words. At times they would go without saying a word. They would just stare into the eyes of their lover, taking in the very soul they loved. After a year they finalized their union in marriage. Their love never faded, but grew more and more each day. After their wedding they consummated the marriage, beginning an amazing life together, full of fun, love, laughter, honesty, trust, and loyalty. Many envied them, for they could not understand the true meaning behind the word soulmates. Soon their family grew, and so did their love. This time their love was for their children, a wonderful mixture of themselves and their families in these sweet little creatures that were created by their love. So this wonderful family of love continued to grow as the children began to grow and make friends at school and church. The greatest moment in Ava's life was her 5th year of being a mother, and her son Aaron asked her the world's easiest question. "Mommy, who was your first true love?" Aaron asked, sitting in his mother's lap looking at an old photo album. "See that incredible man making dinner? You mean Daddy? That's the one. I didn't really know what love was before I met your father. I knew family love, but nothing like what I got with him." "It's all your fault. I only returned what you gave me," Simon added, giving his wife a kiss. "Ew," the kids replied, disgusted by their parents being romantic. The pair laughed and continued with their own fun with the kids. Simon and Ava could have never been the family they were without the family who raised them and helped them in times of need. They knew how important strong family support was. Without the support of their families, they would have not made it as far as they did together. They would have fallen apart, never to speak again. They, of course, had total support and the love from their Heavenly Father. Any time they were close to losing hope, they prayed. They knew God was the only one to be there for them at the time. They had their fights, sometimes over money, sometimes over the other's family. It got way too close to ending it all. Thankfully, they knew this love was God appointed, and prayed and sought the help of their elders and counseling to keep it together. Even when they thought there was no coming back from such hurt and pain, they made it work, because without pain there is no gain. When getting taller, we all go through growing pains. When giving birth to a child, there are labor pains. When building muscle, there is pain. One must overcome the pain to get the reward on the other side.